Hey everybody, welcome to the Vinyl channel. I'm the Vinyl Guy Boss. On this video, I'm going to be showing you 10 classic vinyl albums that desperately need a reissue. When I set out to do this video, I was thinking about albums that hadn't been reissued on vinyl in at least the last 10 years, but I believe almost all of these, it's been at least double that since they've seen vinyl reissues or longer. So let's go ahead and get to it. I'm going to show you the first album that I have. Okay, and the very first album I have for you is Weird Al Yankovic, the soundtrack to UHF. It was released in 1989, featuring songs from and inspired by the film UHF, which starred Yankovic and directed by Jay Levy. The album features several parodies of popular songs of the time, such as Beverly Hillbillies, a parody of Dire Straits' Money for Nothing, Fun Zone, a parody of the Kinks' Funeral Zone, and Spam, a parody of REM's Stand. It also features original songs such as UHF, Generic Blues, and Good Old Days. The album was produced by Weird Al Yankovic and Rick Derringer, and it was released on Skydy Brothers Records. The film and the album continue to be a fan favorite. So this here is a great album. I really like UHF a lot. I don't understand why it has not been reissued, but it definitely has not been reissued. So this is the very first album on my list. Okay, and the next one we have here is Van Halen 5150. This is the 7th studio album by Van Halen, released in 1986, and featuring lead vocalist Sammy Hagar, who replaced David Lee Roth. Produced by Ted Templeman, the album was recorded at 5150 Studios and was a commercial success, remaining #1 on the US Billboard 200 chart, and then has been certified 4X Platinum by the Record Industry Association of America. The album is considered one of the band's best works, and it was a turning point for the band, reaching a new level of success both commercially and critically. So yeah, I mean, my wife is not a big fan of what she calls the Van Hagar years. To me, it's just all Van Halen. You still had Eddie Van Halen playing on the guitars, regardless of who is on the lead. This is a great album. It's got a bunch of great songs. It has not seen a vinyl reissue in quite a while. I started making this video about 2 weeks ago, is when I started researching it and deciding which albums I wanted to use. So, but just like 3 or 4 days ago, I just read an article that Sammy Hagar is just now talking about remastering the Van Halen albums that he performed on. So there's no time frame on that. No one knows when. But as of right now, as I'm making on this video, no, there has not been any vinyl reissues of this album. So this one definitely needs a vinyl reissue, and if Sammy Hagar wants to go ahead and do that soon, more power to him. Okay, and the next one here is Boz Scaggs' Middleman. This is a personal favorite of mine. It is the 9th studio album by Boz Scaggs, released in 1980. Produced by Scaggs and Joe Wishart. The album was recorded at Sound City Studios in California, and features the hit single Breakdown Dead Ahead, as well as other popular songs such as JoJo and Simone. The album reached #8 on the Billboard 200 album chart. So yeah, I had this album when I was in high school. I listened to it quite often. I really like it a lot. It has not seen a vinyl reissue, I don't think, since the 80s. So this one definitely needs a vinyl reissue. And the next album to go ahead and make my list is Lovin' Every Minute of It. So this is the 4th studio album by Canadian rock band Loverboy, released in 1985. The album was recorded at Little Mountain Sound Studios in Vancouver, Canada, and features the hit singles This Could Be the Night, Lovin' Every Minute of It, Dangerous, and Hot Girls in Love, which reached the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. The title track, Lovin' Every Minute of It, was a commercial success, reaching #9 on the US Hot 100 chart. The album was certified 4X Platinum by the Record Industry Association of America. And this is a Colombian pressing. They pressed this on blue vinyl. It's an original pressing, so it's from the 80s when it was made. I don't think this has had any reissues on vinyl since the 1980s. So it's a great album. It's one of my favorite by Loverboy. And I think that this really needs a vinyl reissue. Okay, the next one here is a very popular album. This one here is Sports by Huey Lewis and the News. It is the third studio album by Huey Lewis and the News, released in 1983 and produced by the band and Bill Schnee. The album reached the top of the Billboard 200 charts and sold over 10 million copies. It features the hit singles The Heart of Rock and Roll, I Want a New Drug, If This Is It, and Walking on a Thin Line. The album's lead single, The Heart of Rock and Roll, was a massive hit, reaching top 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart and becoming one of the band's most recognizable songs. The album was certified triple platinum by the Record Industry Association of America and was nominated for a Grammy for Best Album of the Year. So this is one of my wife's favorite albums. One of my wife's favorite groups, actually, Huey Lewis. I really like him a lot as well. This is an awesome album. It's one of the albums that I had when I was in high school. So it's been a while since it's been reissued. And it definitely needs a vinyl reissue. Okay, and next on my list is probably the only one that some of you out there may not be familiar with or may not have seen before. But in the groups that I hang around with, a lot of us like this and we play it quite often, but it's an awesome album. This is a no-frills hard rock band from Columbus, Ohio. They gained cult status in the outlaw biker scene of the late 1970s. Formed in 1976, the band conceived their moniker, only later to learn a band from New York City also had the same name. A monetary settlement allowed them to keep their name. The Gods did not have a recording contract when they hit the road with Cheap Trick in 1977. The band released its debut album, which this here is their debut album, the following year on Millennium Records in 1978. So as you can see here, it is on the Millennium label. But this here is a great hard rock album by this band. They have several albums and they're all great, but I think this one here, their debut, might be their best. And it is getting harder and harder to come by, harder and harder to find a good copy of it. And I think a lot of people would love to hear this and would like to get it on a reissue, which is why I think it should be reissued. Okay, so getting down to the last 4 albums here, we have Geils Band, Love Stinks. There's actually 2 albums that were candidates for this list. Freeze Frame was another one. And that one as well has not been reissued, and it does need to be reissued as well. But I decided for this video to go ahead and choose Love Stinks. So this is the 9th studio album by American rock band, the Geils Band, released in 1980 and produced by Seth Justman. The album was recorded at the band's own studio, The Playground, and features the hit single Love Stinks, which reached number 38 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. The album was a commercial success, reaching number 29 on the U.S. Billboard 200 chart. The title track, Love Stink, is the band's most well-known songs and is a classic rock staple. So this here is an amazing album. Of course, all the songs are awesome. The entire album is awesome. It has not seen a vinyl reissue in quite some time. I think it's about time that this one, as well as Freeze Frame, honestly, both of them need vinyl reissues. But definitely this one here, needs a reissue. So this one here is Love Stinks. Okay, so we're moving on. We have Ozzy Osbourne, Bark at the Moon. So I believe this has been reissued in the last few years in a vinyl box set. I do not consider that a valid reissue because you got to spend I don't know how much that box set is going for now. It's probably going for what, $500 or more. So who wants to spend that kind of money if all they want is just to get this one album reissued, right? So I don't include albums in box sets to be really legitimate reissues, because people just want to buy the one album. So this is Ozzy Osbourne's third studio album, released in 1983, and features guitarist Jake E. Lee as a replacement for Randy Rhoads after his death in 1982. The title track, Bark of the Moon, is the most well-known song from the album, and it was also released as a single with a music video that received heavy airplay on MTV. The album also features other songs such as Rock and Roll Rebel, Center of Eternity, So Tired, and Spiders. The album was certified gold in the US and reached number 19 on the Billboard Top 200 chart. So I'm a big fan of Ozzy Osbourne, big fan of all of his albums. And this one here has not seen a vinyl reissue again, except for the box set, which I do not believe counts. So they definitely need to go ahead and reissue this. Not as a picture disc. I mean that would be better than nothing. And picture discs are okay, but I'd rather have it on a vinyl album, even if it's just in black, and that's fine too. But please go ahead and reissue this album, Ozzy Osbourne, Bark at the Moon. Okay, getting down to the last two. By the way, these have not been in any particular order. So here we have Sammy Hagar, Three Lock Box. It is the 7th studio album by American rock singer Sammy Hagar, released in 1982 and produced by Hagar. The album was recorded at his own studio, the Three Lock Box Studios, and featured the hit single Your Love Is Driving Me Crazy. The album was a commercial success, reaching number 17 on the U.S. Billboard 200 chart and being certified gold by the Record Industry Association of America. I love this album. It is a great album. I know that it's a very popular album by people who like Sammy Hagar. It's a lot of people that like Sammy. This is in their top 3 or 4 albums typically. But they have not released this as a reissue. I don't understand why. It definitely needs a reissue. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go. This is Sammy Hagar, a 3 Lock Box. Okay, and last but not least, we have Frontiers, and this here is a Japanese copy of this great album. Frontiers is by American rock band Journey, released in 1983. It reached number 2 on the U.S. Billboard 200 chart and was certified multi-platinum. The album features the hit singles Separate Ways and Center My Love, and marked a new direction for the band as they shifted to a more mainstream arena rock sound. It also marked the beginning of the band's most successful period in terms of commercial success. So this here is an awesome album. This one came out in the year that I graduated high school. Of course, Escape, I believe Escape was the album that was just before this, and Escape was very popular as well. And Walmart did reissue Escape. I think a year or 2 years ago. I don't understand why they didn't reissue this one. But this here is a great album. It has not seen a vinyl reissue in quite some time. It definitely needs a reissue. So come on, guys. Now, I put a video very similar to this video. Again, talking about 10 albums that need a vinyl reissue. And this is the only one, I believe, that made both lists. I talked about it on that video, and talking about it again because no one listened to me. Nobody put this out as a reissue, but this definitely needs a reissue. Journey is great, and I'm sure there are people out there who want to get a hold of a brand new pressing of it, which is one of the reasons why we like reissues. Is getting harder and harder to find really good pressings of this. And if you want to, let's say you want to get a sealed copy, a sealed 1983 copy of this, I've just seen a couple of them available on eBay. They're going for upwards of $50 or more. So even the near mint ones are going for $30 and $40. I mean, that's a lot of money for this album. So if you're going to spend that kind of money, maybe we should buy a reissue instead. So either way, though, it definitely needs a reissue. And so that's it. That's Journey Frontiers. All right, I do want to thank everybody for joining me today. If you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and tap on the subscribe button, which is right up here. And don't forget to check out what I have up here for you. But I do want to thank everybody again. And keep on spinning, and I'll see you next time.